This is a very important section, as it is much better to prevent a fire from happening than to have to fight it when it does. First, we will look at the three things needed to create a fire. These are known as the fire triangle. The fire triangle are the three elements which, when combined, cause a fire to start. These three elements are heat, fuel, and oxygen. Fire prevention comes down to preventing these three elements from coming into contact with each other. Many heat sources may cause a fire to start. These include sparks, such as from construction, hot surfaces, such as in kitchens or heating appliances, flames from other burning materials or candles or similar, electricity, such as overloaded sockets or damaged or faulty wiring, hot oil, for example, in oil fryers in a kitchen.
Неплохо.
Almost everything we see around us is a source of fuel for a fire. This includes solid objects such as wood, paper, textiles such as linen and laundry, and all fixtures and fittings. Liquids and gases can also be a source of fuel. This includes oil in fryers, gas cylinders such as propane, butane, and acetylene, petrol, white spirits, paraffin, and methylated spirits, paints, varnish, thinners, and adhesives, gases or vapors from smoldering materials, and other flammable chemicals.
Ит 95622 прямая черта собака
The main source
Мичаэль.
of oxygen
Адон
for
Нелмус.
fires is room air, which contains around 21% oxygen. By reducing the oxygen
Ит
available to a fire, we
95622
can either
прямая
prevent it
черта
from
собака
starting or
Мичаэль.
cause it to burn
Адон
out.
Неляп.
An excellent way of reducing the oxygen available is to keep doors closed when a room or area is not in use. If a fire starts in the area, it will extinguish if there is not enough oxygen available. An example of this in everyday life would be when covering the flame of a small candle with an empty glass and the flame goes out. This may not always be successful if there are fans or air conditioning units providing airflow to a room. However, it is always beneficial to reduce the oxygen available for the fire. Some chemicals will also give off oxygen as they burn, so extra caution must be taken in the storage of these products. Unfortunately, fires are frequently found to be down to poor fire safety management, such as unsafe electronics, poor housekeeping, careless actions, or poor security resulting in malicious fires. Fire safety management involves ensuring that the fire triangle is never given a chance to develop. Only use good fires. Fire safety management involves ensuring that the fire triangle is never given a chance to develop. Only use good quality electronic products in the workplace. Do not overload sockets. Extension leads must not be used as an alternative to permanent wiring. When used, you must make sure they are safe and appropriate for the products being powered by them. Extension leads have a rating on them, which shows their suitability and capability. They are usually only suitable for low drain devices and are unsuitable for high powered devices such as kettles, hair dryers, toasters, etc. Double adapter plugs should not be used. Extension leads should not be used when coiled. They are more likely to overheat internally. Report any defective electronics. Stop using any faulty equipment. Ensure to quarantine or dispose of any electronic equipment or devices which you, your colleagues, or a customer suspect is defective. This may arise in the hospitality sector, where a guest advises a member of staff that a room appliance is not functioning. It should be immediately removed from the room, or if not possible, the person responsible for maintenance should immediately be contacted to decommission the appliance and the customer advised to not use it. Ensure any fans or air inputs on electronic devices are kept clear. This prevents overheating. Do not run electric cables across cookers or hot surfaces. Do not run cables under carpets or mats, particularly in conference or meeting rooms. Over time, the cable will become worn and frayed. Avoid leaving items on standby. Most devices use almost the same amount of electricity when on standby as when they are powered on. Switch off and plug out electrical items when you are not using them. Remember to turn off laptops and desktop computers that are not required to be left on. Ensure cables are not kinked, frayed, or under pressure. If any electrical cables or plugs are damaged, worn, or frayed, do not use the item and report it. Good housekeeping is vital to reduce the risk of a fire and ensure the safety of people if one does occur. Ensure access and egress routes are kept clear at all times. Exit routes must not be blocked under any circumstances. If involved in activities where you are on exit routes, try to minimize their effect on the route. This can be done by keeping trolleys in alcoves or to the side of the route, and by ensuring trailing cables are kept to the side of the route during activities such as hoovering or buffering. Ensure there are no trip hazards. Ensure that there is no buildup of litter or dust, particularly near heat sources. Do not store or allow rubbish to accumulate in hidden areas such as under staircases. Rubbish bags are often left hidden under staircases or in server rooms for convenience. Avoid this practice. Ensure no dust buildup on electronic products. Excessive dust may heat up and ignite or prevent proper cooling of the electrical devices. Ensure fire alarms do not get covered or damaged. In the hospitality sector, housekeeping staff should monitor for smoke detectors being covered or tampered with in bedrooms. Ensure fire safety equipment is not moved or blocked. Fire extinguishers must remain sited at the area designated by the competent person, usually the contractor. They must never be used to hold doors open or similar. For security, close doors when not in use. Closed doors reduce the supply of oxygen available to fire. Ensure only appropriate persons have access to the workplace. Many fires are malicious in origin. Ensure only authorized personnel are allowed into your work area. Ensure any visitors or contractors are following company policy. If a visitor or contractor is engaged in any unsafe practice and you are concerned about the risk of fire, immediately notify management and follow company policy to ensure the safety of you and your colleagues. This may mean asking the contractor to stop working or evacuating the premises if you have serious concerns. Also report any suspicious activity. In the kitchen, turn in saucepan handles and make sure they are not over rings that are powered on. Use the back rings first. Keep your cooker clean. Grease is a fire risk. Turn off the cooker when you're not using it. Ensure fryers are not on unnecessarily. Ensure oil is replaced and or filtered regularly. Clean or replace filters in the extractor fan regularly. Many hotel and restaurant fires start in the extractor fans from a buildup of grease. In the home, chip pans are at fire risk. Consider using an alternative cooking method. Don't move a hot chip pan and don't leave it unattended. Monitor for hazards. Be vigilant for hot objects such as hair straighteners, charging electronics, and ensure they are not covered. Don't use portable heaters near furniture, curtains, or beds. Soft fabrics can catch fire quite easily. Electric blankets can be very dangerous if they come in contact with liquids. This may be drinks that are accidentally spilled or where a person has continence issues. Ensure portable heaters are not left unsupervised. At home, simple fire safety measures include: don't leave heaters on when you go to bed and use a fire guard. Smoking. If you work in the hospitality sector, monitor for evidence of smoking in bedrooms. These include ashes at windows, cigarette butts in toilets, ashes in sinks, and smoke detectors covered. If you find these, take any immediate corrective action that can be carried out safely, in line with company policy, and report to your manager or supervisor. Ensure cigarette bins or ashtrays are emptied regularly. Ensure they are not used for general rubbish such as cigarette boxes or litter. If there is frequently litter in the ashtray, report it to your supervisor to consider getting it replaced for one which would not allow same. Only smoke in designated areas. Smoking inside, and especially smoking in escape routes, dramatically increases the risk of a fire starting and the danger to other persons if they have to evacuate. Smouldering fires can take hours, days, or even weeks to take hold. They may occur when heat is slowly building up and slowly causing a fire to start. Smouldering fires are very dangerous, as once the fire takes hold, it will spread very rapidly. Examples of smouldering fires are cigarette ends, sparking and insulation, electric devices, particularly if in contact with dust, rubbish, or textiles, and ashtrays overflowing or filled with litter. If you smell burning, always report it to your supervisor, and if safe and appropriate, investigate the cause. If you suspect a fire or you are unable to locate the source, call the fire service on 999 or 112. It is important to monitor for hazards that, while they may not cause a fire, they may dramatically increase the danger to you and your colleagues if a fire were to start. These include: ensure fire exits are unblocked. This includes temporary obstructions. Monitor the exits both inside and outside. In the hospitality sector, exits can often become blocked on the outside during busy events. Fire exits must never be chained or locked shut, even temporarily. They must not be wedged open. Fire exits must not require any special skill or knowledge, such as a code or key, in order to open them. If they are electronic, they must release on activation of the fire alarm. Ensure you are familiar with your fire alarm break glass units and the fire exits in your area. Ensure that the fire exits lead to a place of safety. Follow your fire escape route through to completion so that you are confident in using it in the event of an emergency. Ensure fire extinguishers are not blocked, even temporarily. They must be visible at all times. They should be hanging in the position where they were installed by the contractor. Fire extinguishers must not be used to wedge doors open. When not in use, fire doors must be kept closed. Fire doors help to prevent the spread of fire. Ensure fire extinguishers and the tag on the pin are not tampered with. If the safety tag is found, moved, damaged, or missing, then report it to your supervisor and document in the fire register in line with company policy. Be familiar with the escape routes available to you. If you are going to be working in the same space frequently, familiarize yourself with the various exit routes on starting in the area. If working in different locations or changing work area frequently, then familiarize yourself with the exits at the start of each shift. We have now looked at the three elements that, when combined, cause a fire to start. Successful fire prevention involves preventing the three elements of the fire triangle from coming in contact with each other. We have looked at a number of sources of heat, fuel, and oxygen, and how to reduce the chances of them combining to cause a fire. To ensure good fire safety management, report faulty or defective electrics, ensure good housekeeping, ensure safe smoking practices, and monitor fire and report any hazards. We have also discussed ensuring your fire safety measures, such as fire exits and fire extinguishers, are able to assist in the event of an emergency. The next section we are going to look at is how fire spreads. When a fire takes hold, it can spread very quickly. Many people only think of fire spreading by direct burning, which is where the flames carry or spread the fire. However, it spreads in three other ways. These are convection, which is the movement of heat through a substance such as smoke or vapors, carrying heat through the air. Conduction, the carrying of heat through an item such as steel transmitting heat. And radiation, which is where the heat from a fire can cause something else to warm up and ignite without actually touching it. An example of this would be the heat of a portable heater, causing nearby fabrics to smolder and ignite. Many objects or materials have a flash point or auto-ignition temperature. This is a temperature at which, when reached, the object will spontaneously catch fire. For soft furnishings and paper products, this temperature is often relatively low. We have spoken about some of the ways a fire can start and how it spreads. Now we will look at what to do if a fire starts and how we evacuate a premises. The next section we are going to look at is how fire spreads. When a fire takes hold, it can spread very quickly. Many people only think of fire spreading by direct burning, which is where the flames carry or spread the fire. However, it spreads in three other ways. These are convection, which is the movement of heat through a substance such as smoke or vapors, carrying heat through the air. Conduction, the carrying of heat through an item such as steel transmitting heat. And radiation, which is where the heat from a fire can cause something else to warm up and ignite without actually touching it. An example of this would be the heat of a portable. When the alarm sounds is our final section of the course. When the fire alarm sounds, if needed to ensure safety, turn off any equipment you are using, for example, gas cutoff or emergency stop. Stop what you are doing and immediately proceed to evacuate the building using the nearest exit. When going to the exit, walk quickly but do not run. Lifts must not be used in the event of a fire. Do not delay your exit to collect your belongings. Close doors behind you as you go. Closed doors prevent the fire from having access to oxygen. Do not allow yourself to become trapped by fire. For example, if your exit route is blocked immediately, find an alternative route. If there is heavy smoke, keep low to the floor and crawl towards the exit. Maintain a strong focus on escaping. Assist with any evacuation duties, only if it is safe to do so, and if you have been given specific training or drills in doing so. Follow company policy, such as evacuation cards or the procedures you've been taught during your fire drills and other training. If you discover a fire, raise the alarm using the nearest break glass unit. Evacuate using the nearest exit. Ensure the fire services have been notified. Call 999 or 112 and ask for a fire service in county wherever it is you are, and state the name of the county you are calling from. The fire service will want you to confirm your phone number and address, including air code where possible, and will ask a number of questions about the nature of the fire. If your alarm is connected to a monitoring company, you should still call 999 or 112 to alert the fire brigade, as most monitoring companies rule out a false alarm before notifying the fire brigade, and this takes some time. Tackle the fire only if it is safe to do so, and you have been given specific training in doing so. Assist with any evacuation duties only if it is safe to do so, and if you have been given specific training or drills in doing so. Follow company policy. Once outside the building, confirm the fire service has been notified. If there is any doubt, call 999 or 112 again. Assist with ensuring all persons are accounted for. In some places, this will involve doing a roll call. Control the assembly area. Ensure that staff, customers, guests, residents, or service users are not blocking access for the emergency services. Ensure access or egress is not blocked by vehicles. In some venues, customers or staff leaving the car park will create traffic congestion, and this delays fire service access. If possible, use blankets, dressing gowns, or foil blankets to help prevent people from becoming too cold. Provide other first aid as needed. Never go back into the building. When you're out, stay out. While waiting in the evacuation area, assist with first aid provision. Assist with first aid needs by summoning first aiders. Call 999 or 112 if there are any significant injuries or burns or smoke inhalation. For serious injuries, the ambulance controller will give over the phone first aid advice if requested. Burns should be cooled with cool running water for at least 10 minutes. Cover burns with something clean, dry, and non-fluffy once they have been cooled. Do not burst any blisters, as it may increase the risk of infection. Do not use ice to cool burns. Be mindful that people with medical problems may experience worsening of their condition. For more advice on first aid for burns, please take a few moments to watch the video in the following section. Fire drills are an essential part of fire safety. They should be conducted regularly in the workplace, at least twice a year for all staff. In some sectors, particularly the early years sector, drills are required more frequently in order to comply with the industry regulations. Preschools must have fire drills once a month. Most other facilities will ensure all staff, including night workers, participate in at least two a year. Staff must ensure to participate fully in the drills. If all persons are not evacuated within, at most, 2.5 minutes of the alarm being sounded, then additional drills must take place until all personnel are evacuated inside that time frame. The evacuation procedure summary includes the evacuation procedure, what to do if you've discovered a fire, and what to do outside the building. These are the first aid measures, ensuring all people are accounted for, and ensuring access for fire service. We have now looked at the procedure to be followed in the event that the fire alarm activates in your workplace. Remember that your priority is to get out of the building as quickly and safely as possible. Now we will look at the various classes of fire and fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers. We will now examine the types of fire and then give some resources that will refresh you on how to use a fire extinguisher. Fire extinguishers should only be used if you have been given specific additional theory and practical training in their use. They should only be used on small fires or when a fire extinguisher is needed to give you a safe exit route. There are a number of main fire classifications for fires that we may come across in the workplace. Today we will look at 5 of these classifications or categories. Class A fires are fires involving free burning materials such as wood, paper, textiles, laundry, solid rubbish, plastics, etc. Class A fires can be described as anything that produces an ash when burnt. Class B fires are fires involving flammable liquids, petrol, diesel, solvents, etc. Class C fires are fires with flammable gases, such as methane and hydrogen. Class F fires are fires involving cooking fats. The electric bolt symbol or lightning bolt symbol is used for fires involving electricity. Symbol or lightning bolt symbol is used for fires involving electricity. Fire extinguishers contain a label that clearly indicates what type of extinguisher they are. This label is color-coded. They also have a label indicating what classification of fire they can be used on. Now that we know the various types of fire, let's look at the various fire extinguishers that are available. Water, foam, powder, carbon dioxide, and wet chemical extinguishers are the types most commonly found in Ireland. A water extinguisher is red with an entirely red label. It works by removing the heat from a fire. It should only be used on Class A fires, that is, solid objects such as wood, paper, or textiles. It must not be used on burning liquids, oils, or fats. A foam extinguisher has a red body with a cream label. It contains a mixture of water and special additive foam. It works by cooling the fire and sealing over the surface of fire to reduce the oxygen supply. It must not be used on electrical fires or on cooking fat fires. Most Irish businesses have predominantly foam and carbon dioxide extinguishers available in the workplace. A dry powder extinguisher has a red body with a blue label. It contains powder which interferes with the combustion reaction. It can be used on all fires except cooking fats or oils. Powder extinguishers should not be routinely placed in nursing homes or areas where there are those with breathing difficulties, as the risk and difficulties associated with accidental or malicious discharge do not outweigh the benefits of it being suitable for all fire types. Outweigh the benefits of it being suitable for all difficulties in nursing homes, oils. Difficulties. A carbon dioxide extinguisher has a red body with a black label. It contains carbon dioxide and extinguishes the fire by reducing the oxygen available to the fire. It can be used on burning liquids, but is primarily used for fires involving electrics. You must ensure to not hold the nozzle during discharge. It must not be used on Class A fires, as the gas comes out with pressure that may cause the spread of debris or flames. These extinguishers displace the oxygen available, so should not be used in confined spaces. A wet chemical extinguisher has a red body with a canary yellow label. It extinguishes by reducing oxygen levels and cooling. It contains a rigid nozzle and a liquid chemical, which comes out at low pressure and can be safely used on a fire involving burning oil. The rigid nozzle allows you to safely direct the chemical at the fire. Please take a few moments to familiarize yourself with the types of fire each extinguisher can be used on in this table. The next section discusses some other information on fire extinguisher use. But first, please take a few moments to watch the following videos. First, please take a few moments to watch the following videos.
Привет всем. Добавишь меня в друзья в танках? Мой ник Никита подчеркивание танкист подчеркивание снайпер. А чё ты не говоришь? Понятно. Не забудь добавить меня в друзья в танках.